Okay, you guys, today we're making some huge progress. Today we're going through it systematically. This is part of my series of my no-buy, and I hope you guys come along with me on this journey. You can check out the playlist up above and see what my no-buy is all about. I wanted to do this KonMari style, and we're gonna start out first of all, where should we even start? Let's start easy. Okay, we're gonna start with, let's go powders, but we've got all of the makeup in one spot. Ooh, I need to grab a few more lip products. Okay, do you like how I said that? And then I just have like all of these, these are in my purses. We're gonna systematically go through each category, and I'm gonna get rid of what is expired, what I'm not using. But if I have stuff I can pass on, then I will. Other than that, I've really decluttered this as far as it was as like a collection. But as you can see, some areas are still just like, there's so many, and it's become tough to store them in a easy to consume way. Ooh, the one I'm the most afraid of is the lipsticks. So we're gonna start off first of all with powders. This is everything I've got, my current makeup bag, collection, whatever you wanna call it. All of the powders. I feel like they're all so different. Is this everybody's problem? So I know these two are more like foundations. These are like powders. Same thing with this one. This one it's a Well People Bio-Baked Brightener. I never use this. I don't know why. I just haven't really used it. Like maybe an under eye brightener. I never go for a brightener. Like if I'm gonna do a highlight, I'm gonna use a highlight. I don't want to look more white than I am, so I'm gonna let this one go. Okay, first one. We've done good. I think I'll just go ahead and stack these in here. Okay, then over here, this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. I want to call it like a filter or like it just adds a glow. A little bit of shimmer. You could almost use it like a highlight. You can use this as eyeshadow. I feel like I genuinely love this palette. I need to clean it. But I really do love this thing. Like if I was gonna pick some makeup that I would be sad if it, got broke, like I'd mourn this one. I wanna keep this one. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I feel like this does a good job. It's like a cult classic. A lot of people love this one. It does a good job. So I feel like I should keep it. It's matte. At the same time, I got these both in PR. I do like them. I feel like they do a really good job of like mattifying, setting your foundation. I feel like they're almost more mattifying than the Laura Mercier. But I like that this one has a little bit of color to it. And this one's just like flat white. This one's by Ciate. So I did really like this one. But there's so much powder in here. I definitely don't need both. And this one is still sealed. So I feel like I should definitely pass this one along. I feel like I'm going to put this in a giveaway pack because it's still completely sealed. So this one I'm actually going to give away to you guys. If you guys want to check out our current Instagram giveaway, this puppy's going to be in there. So make sure you go follow on Instagram and like the posts that we post during the month. And that will be your entries towards winning that prize pack. This Well People, this is their Bio-Baked Foundation in Fair Golden. I've actually used this a lot. I put a little puff in here. I never use that. I need to get rid of it. I always just swirl my brush in here, and I like that it's like a baked product. I can use a brush. I don't have to open anything and spill. And then this one, when I really need to go matte, I do like this one. But at the same time, how many of these do I need? And it's not often that I need to go that matte. I feel like I'm gonna let this one go. I know this one's been open the longest. What to do with these? Okay, so I've got, this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. It has a specific brush that goes with it. This is the brush. So it's a little, I think it's called Air Buki brush from Tarte. I do really think this brush is neat for using, like to do with powder foundations. It's a really good dense brush. I just don't reach for this. Like it's my shade and everything. I just don't use it, and when my skin gets dry, why am I holding on to this? Because I spent a lot of money on it. I don't need to hold on to this just because I paid a lot for it. I'm gonna let this go. The brush I have a harder time because I could use other products with it. Like this one is, I mean, it's nice, it's like dense, and it does feel really good. I'll get to this when I get to the brushes. I'm not ready for that. I got this one as like another option for I get it basically the same thing that I was using the other one for. Again, I just don't really reach for like a powder foundation. This one's gonna go too. Ah, okay, I think I did really good there. 3, we're keeping 3, and I'm very excited about all 3 of these. Okay, next up, we got bronzers. And I do know that I have another bronzer in a palette, but you can't really take that out of the palette, but just saying, I do have another bronzer in a palette. This one here, I don't like that I have to keep this magnetic palette. I don't know why I did that. This one, I did really like this. It's from Well People, good ingredients. I love how this looks for a cream bronzer, and I felt like it blended out. I know it's probably old. It says 24 months. I don't know, it's always kind of smelled like that, but I feel like it did look natural. It's the only cream bronzer that I own, but I never really reach for cream bronzer. And then this one, I haven't really used this. It's also from Well People, Bio Baked Bronzer. I love how this one looks, except it has some shimmer in it. Like, I love the packaging here. Ingredients with Well People is really nice. But it's the slight shimmer that I'm just not into. It'd be fine if you were looking for something like, you know, summertime, all over the face, but because I like to be able to use my contour and bronzer as the same product, just like a multi-purpose, I can't keep this one. I wouldn't use it. I'm gonna go ahead and pass that one. This one, I don't know. The thing I don't like is the amount of time it takes me to blend products like this. And should I really be trying to keep something that's expired and like force myself to use it up and love it? I don't think so. I gotta pass this one on. So now I'm left with this guy. I don't like the packaging situation. I need to at least have one. Okay, so I had to dip into my palettes. I got this one. I had this for a few years. I wonder if it says the year. 2014. And it says it's good for a year. But you guys, it's powder. It's powder products. I'm the only one that's using these. They're no different than when I got them. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I really loved this palette. It does have a bronzer, the Chocolate Soleil. So I do have this bronzer. So if I got rid of this one, I would still have this one. And maybe I could try, you know, hit pan on it. I think I'm gonna let this guy go. And I have so many colors that I go for, like so many neutral colors, specifically this line here and here. It's a bulky palette and I know it's, you know, it's an older one, but I really did enjoy this one. And especially trying to, you know, I don't have a bronzer at this point if I'm getting rid of the others. So far, I'm gonna keep this, try to do a little project pan on some of the shadows in here and then also use that one up specifically. And I think once I use up that bronzer, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to this guy. Next up, okay, we have got liners. I'm working myself up to get to the lipsticks because you guys, I'm terrified. I'm terrified for lipsticks, let's be honest. All right, so here I've got, this is a Tarte Sex Kitten. This is it's like a liquid liner. Haven't used this in a long time. Ooh, wow. I think I've only used this a couple times. This was my Old Faithful Physicians Formula. The only thing I don't like about this, like I really love the pen, like the pen is actual bristles, but it's just not as dark, you know? Like the other one was so pigmented. I feel like this one's better quality though. I know this guy's old. Yep, done. I also have this one. This was from Terry Miyahira. The brush on this one was it's like a felt, like a spongy felt kind of a tip. Also definitely too old. Look, we got an inner rim liner. I don't really like tight line very often, but this one was really good for that. And this must be an Avon one. I think this was like a PR thing they sent. That is really nice. This one definitely is a lot newer than this one. Tarte ingredients would probably have been more natural. And then this one was a Pacifica. I don't know if I just had a weird pencil, but it always seemed like it splintered. I don't love the wood pencil type thing for eyeliner. Okay, realistically, how often do I use eyeliner? I think that's what it comes down to. Not very often. I want to have one liquid and I want to have one, you know, the other kind. I'm going to go with the newer and that one. Okay. We're sticking with Tarte and the Avon one. Okay. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. This is the hardest part of this challenge for me. It's the lip products. Because I have so much, whoa, I have so many here. And I don't wear these bright shades anymore. Like I rarely ever will wear something super bright. Even reds, it draws so much attention, and I'm just kind of over that. I can see right now these two I want to get rid of. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it's almost like bubbles, or like when you're putting it on your lips, it's not smooth. It's like, I think it has something to do with how it was poured. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on those. There was one nude one that I really liked, but I just have so many others. I feel like I don't need to try and see past that. This one kills me too. So this is from 100% Pure. This is one of my favorite makeup brands. Their ingredients are amazing. This specific lipstick, this formula, it's so nice. It's moisturizing. The tube is beautiful. Look at this metal. It's just the colors. The colors that they sent me are so bright. So bright. Do you see that? I put this on the other day and my kids are like, whoa, that's too bright. And I was like, yeah, it is. And then I have another one that's really bright too. Coraline. I used to love this. You could sheer it out. But honestly, I'm just not in that space, you know? I want it to be right, and if I want to add a gloss over the top, I can. This one is more my style. I am going to keep this one. This one's Melantini. That's the other thing. Like, this brand, they don't use artificial dyes. They did this color with fruit. I feel like what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little talking break, and I'm going to do my best to separate by colors. So I'm going to put all my reds. I'm going to put all the deep reds, all the bright reds, nudes. I'm going to separate, and then we can see how many I have, and we'll like Marie Kondo from there.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way. And it's kinda strange, don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you.
I'm at such a mental block with these lipsticks. I'm having such a hard time balancing what to keep, what's probably expired. I know a few things in particular, like I know this guy smells off, I know it's probably expired, I know this one's gonna go. I found an old like lip exfoliator, that's gonna go. I guess I can say these ones here. I got these in like a little set in like, I mean around this time of year, around December, but it's been a few years and they are definitely dried out. So Tarteist lip paints, these are gonna go, those three. We made a little progress. This one here, this is a lip caramel by 100% Pure. I love the smell of these, and it's so, like, it's pretty. The color of this though is so dark, so I like never wear it. When I try to wear it, I get uncomfortable with the formula because it does move around for a bit. I feel like I would maybe try this again in a nude, and I love the brand, but I'm gonna have to let that one go. Yeah, for now, I'm just gonna cover over these, and I'm gonna go to another category so we can continue making progress. Okay, so the next one I've got, these are blushes. Sometimes you just have to give yourself a mental break, right? Like I said, I'm already keeping a palette that's got a couple in it. I do have this Kors, what is it? Z Maze blush. I kept this for so long. You see how deep of a red this is? But I don't know that it complements my skin tone. And I do know that it's old. I'm gonna let this one go. All right, now when it comes to these ones, I've got this Well People blush. I absolutely loved this specific blush. This is the Purist 62. It's a natural one from Well People. The thing that's hard for me about it is that it's a powder blush, and like I'm on the move, people. Like I am busy, I gotta be fast with my blush. I used to love this color though. Like I could rave about this color, even still having not used it recently. I just loved it so much. You know what? I need to swatch this and just compare it to these others. Yeah, it was like coral toned. This is like my kind of color. But I just can't get past the packaging. It's a struggle for me. Like I really don't have the time. Hey. Okay, this one here, Mineral Fusion, good brand, like good ingredients. Let me see the color on this one. I feel like this one was pretty pigmented. So you have to be a little more careful. Definitely a more pinky. Still, like that's my color though. I do have some blushes in that other palette, but they are shimmery, which I don't prefer. Oh, this one, this Terry Mia Hero one, it's 2 different colors, which I don't love. It says you gotta swirl and like hope for the best. And this has shimmer in it, so I'm not gonna keep this one. And then, oh, I love this palette. It's so funny because I love this so much. Prism is like my favorite though. Let me see how that compares to the Well People swatch. Honestly, this one is a mix of these two. I don't even know what to do here. And you guys, it's getting so late. I started my makeup declutter way too late in the day, so we've got to finish with blush, and then we'll pick up on the lipsticks on a different day. I don't know if you guys can even see these. Probably not in good light because it's so late. I like how small this guy is, but I like how many choices I have here. But I just loved this color for so long. But I think I need to let it go. Plus, I mean, you can tell it's old, and I'm not using it because it's loose and it's a hazard with my kids. So I gotta let that one go. Oh, and I've got one more in this Z palette. I think this is Bahama Mama from the Balm. I am gonna let this one go. It's too shimmery, and I do have similar ones to this in that Tarte palette that I kept. Ooh, you know what? This is also a blush. I didn't realize. This is so orangey, crazy pigmented. This is from, I think, Eco Bella. Crazy, crazy pigmented for a blush, and it's like orange. That one's going for sure. Final decision. I'm keeping both for now. I'm gonna use this one tomorrow, and if I love it enough to just keep this one, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'm gonna keep this one. But I'll pick up where we left off tomorrow.
My heart is a what with my thoughts. Oh, and I don't know which side is better. I try to connect all the dots. Oh, to let you in behind my shelter. You could fit into my life when it's daylight and it's night. I would give away my soul, but is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Where can I find your love?
As you can see, for day 2, I decided to tackle the lipstick problem head on and just get started with that first thing when I was fresh. I had this idea to actually swatch each of the lipsticks on a white paper. I kind of slept on the idea of how I was going to do it, and this is what I came up with. I would definitely recommend it. Whether you're doing a actual declutter and you're trying to downsize dramatically or not, I think it was really neat to see how similar so many of these lipsticks are. And when you put them side by side, you can be a lot more objective in how you're viewing them, specifically for a declutter. Seeing everything on the paper really made it so that I wasn't looking at the brand, I wasn't looking at the packaging, and I think maybe the biggest obstacle that I had was thinking about how much I had spent on these lipsticks, or just the fact of how much it would cost to replace them. For me, swatching each shade and looking at it this way kind of leveled the playing field, and I could just look straight to the color, look at what was similar, see things that I had duplicates of, and also just feel really like content with what I have and being content with letting go of the things that I just wasn't using, or like this one was broken and definitely I've had it forever. It was just easier to be more of a realist with what I needed to keep. And even still, after going through my entire collection, these are ones that I got rid of fairly quickly with the swatching. And even still, with this many left, I was like, okay, I like these, but do I need to keep them all?
That don't cut like paper blade. You said, where can I find your love? Where can I find your love? That don't cut like paper blade.
on the left what I actually decluttered, and then on the right, those are ones that I kept. And my plan is just, if I try on something for that day and I don't love it, then I'm going to declutter that as well, because I think I can keep going on that lipstick collection. Now moving into brow products. I didn't have too many, although I will say I definitely stocked up. We had like a local store going out of business, and not that they were anything fancy, but when you can find an entire brow pencil for $1, like, you stock up. So I had some expired products. This pomade was totally dried out. For some reason I still had it. And I've just got my day-to-day brow gel. It was like a little sample from Sephora, and that pencil, and then I've got a bunch of backups. For mascaras, I just had these 2 mini sizes, which I had opened fairly recently, and then this full-size Marc Jacobs mascara. So I ended up keeping all of those. And then I combined categories for foundation, for concealer, and for my primers. So this one looks bigger, but it technically is like 3 categories all in one. In general, I don't tend to get too many types of foundation or primers, concealers. I just try to keep the bare minimum. That being said, though, I did have, 2 concealers, so I was just double checking to make sure the one I hadn't been using as often was still good. And actually that one from Mineral Fusion, I've been using it again, and I've like rediscovered my love for it, both for color correction and like brightening. I did get rid of that BB cream because it had definitely like gotten really thick, and I think it had gone off. I'd had it for a few years. And then also this concealer, this was just a little sample that had really dried out. I did keep my like pore filling primer, my eyeshadow primer, and a couple moisturizing primer samples that I had, but they're definitely something that once they run out, I'm not going to run out and repurchase. On to highlighters now. I did take the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette out of my keep pile in the powders, and I put it with the highlighters just because I wanted to be able to like have it reflected there, because it's kind of a multi-use product. So here I've got like a cream stick highlighter. I also have this one from 100% Pure that I really like. Ingredients are really awesome, and it's kind of like a warm, natural look. This one here from Fenty Beauty is definitely my most bold highlight, and it's a lot more yellow tone. So when I compared the two, this one from 100% Pure was a lot more subtle, which I tend to go for. But for some reason, the one from Fenty Beauty I had a really hard time with, because it's so different from anything that I have, but it's not something that I reach for all that often. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you have that specific lipstick that you don't wear a lot, but when you do wear it, you do like it. It was one of those. Here I've got a Becca highlighter. This was Champagne Pop. I did decide to let that one go, as well as the Terry Miyahira highlighter. Not just because it was crushed, but also it's so shimmery. I didn't even use it that much when I had it and it wasn't broken.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal.
The next category we were doing was eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes. This is one of the scariest ones. I think eyeshadow and lipstick, am I right? It's just harder. So my thought was to do this Marie Kondo style, where I took each individual item, looked at it, decided on it. Some of these were harder than others because a lot of them I just feel like emotionally attached to, even if they were older. And it's tough. It's hard when you've enjoyed something before, but you know it's expired now. Or like this one here, the Tartelette Toasted palette, I rarely used it. Or this is the original Tartelette palette. I had some shades that had broken out, but I wasn't loving on that one very much either. So I really, because I loved the Tartelette original palette, and then it was missing the matte black, I felt like, well, I should still keep it to finish up the other shades. But I know that I've had that for more than 2 years. And some of these newer palettes that I have here front and center, and this one here from Victoria Beckham, they've got very similar shades. So I took the ones that I was the most drawn to, that I felt like had a good mix of like
you know, something I could have just one of to put in my everyday makeup. This is another one from Victoria Beckham. This is probably my newest shadow of all of them. And I wasn't ready to get rid of this one for sure, because I really wanted to try something fun with sparkles. So I pretty much got rid of all of my singles except for that one. And then I just decided that I would keep a few palettes. I was having a hard time with the Chocolate Bar palette and this Aspen Ovard palette from Tarte, because both of those I really liked and I felt like they had a good mix. But ultimately I got rid of the Tarte palette because it didn't have a black, and for my eyeliner I really need that. So this is what I ended up keeping. I've just got these here, and then also that older Too Faced palette, which, like I mentioned, once that bronzer runs out, then I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one as well. And here I'm just going to go through each of my brushes and sponges. I'm putting everything that I'm going to declutter in this white bin here, and then the brushes that I'm deciding to keep, I'm going to go ahead and put those in a separate pile. All in all, I got rid of more than half of my brush collection, which I'm very excited about. I'm donating the rest. And then I wanted to show you the complete new collection, what I narrowed it down to. So I've got everything here except for that Too Faced palette that I'm just going to be using the bronzer out of. And I'm really happy with it. I think eventually I will get this used up and down to one makeup bag, and it's gonna be good. I'm really excited about it. Now I'm gonna quickly take you through the quantities of each category that I kept and show you all the products. So we've got one foundation, 2 face powders, I've got 1 blush and a blush palette, 2 concealers, I've got 4 different primers, all different types, a brow pencil and a brow gel, and then I've got 5 backups, 4 highlighters and a highlighting palette, 2 eyeliners, I've got 3 mascaras, 5 eyeshadow palettes and 1 single. And then I forgot, as I was filming this, I did keep the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's not something I plan to use on a daily basis or keep in my makeup bag, but I am keeping it under a couple books on my shelf for decor. For lip products, I ended up with 16, and I'm really happy with that number. Now it's time for our moment of truth. This is everything that I decluttered, things that I'm passing on, trashing, or donating. I hope you've enjoyed this first video in my decluttering series. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe so you don't miss my new video on Monday. And also you can check out the playlist above to see all of these decluttering videos in one place in the series. See you soon. Bye guys.